May the words of my mouth and the meditation of our hearts be always pleasing to you, the God of radical hospitality. Amen.
Amen.
Today's readings from Genesis and Luke, they remind us of the surprises related to hospitality and the hidden presence of God. It's wonderful to see our visitors from St. Aidan's here because they're bringing the radical hospitality to us. And that's very true. I was going to say, well, we all have those points in our life where we're gathering around people and friends and eating a little bit. We could just feel the presence of the Lord being there and good things happening. And, so I don't have to dwell much on that. The stories tell about Abraham. He serves up this fantastic feast to a disguised deity. God was among those people there. And God, he's pleased about all these actions that Abraham takes and has been taken. And he's promised to make Abraham the father of a great nation. We also hear in the gospel lesson of Mary, who prepares a meal also for many by herself, while this time complaining to the same deity that he should command that she should get a little help in her efforts. Now, Abraham was first contacted by God 6 chapters earlier in Genesis, and he's being groomed as the founding father of the nation of the people who will be set apart and considered holy by God. God has supported Abraham since he told him to leave his homeland and wander towards this land of Canaan. Abraham proves his faithfulness to God by obeying these commands. He did show great faith because when he started doing this, Abraham was 75 years old. And he didn't even have an heir due to his wife, Sarah, not being able to conceive. So how was he going to be a father of a great nation? Many would say such faith like that would be just folly. It would be almost a quarter of a century later before Sarah did give birth to Isaac. And she herself had to be near 90, if not more, and Abraham probably near 100 when she became the mother. Well, during those 25 years, Abraham lived a guy that wasn't too much retirement, I'd say. He had a kind of busy lifestyle. In those 25 years, he goes on a rescue mission to save his nephew Lot, who'd been taken a prisoner while in Sodom, which was being plundered by another kingdom. Abraham receives a blessing by the mysterious priest forever, Melchizedek. Abraham has a surrogate son, Ishmael, from Sarah's servant Hagar. Abraham performs a mass circumcision of his male household to mark the covenant that he seals with God. And he has his name changed from Abram to Abraham, and his wife's name changed from Sarai to Sarah. And through all this, Abraham is promised a great nation of descendants. And God is very satisfied with the faith that Abraham shows. Abraham is connected to 3 major religions as a side note, too, and we should remember that, is by Judaism, by the establishment of this covenant that made the Jews God's chosen people. To Islam, he's in the link, he's a prophet. He's a prophet that starts with Adam and culminates with Muhammad. To Christians, however, Abraham is a prototype of what it is to be a good, faithful believer. Abraham lived before Mosaic law and thus represents the ideal of pure obedience to God. That's the same type of obedience that years later Jesus Christ is going to show. And while not being part of the lesson today, you really need to read the balance of the reading because that's the punchline and all that. But that's the good part of the reading, is because that concerns Sarah's reaction to this news that she'll be given birth in due season. She's eavesdropping, of course, as most of us are wont to do when you hear someone else talking. She's eavesdropping a bit in this conversation between Abraham and God, and she snickers under her breath when she hears the idea that she's soon going to be pregnant. And she hears a voice say, "Is there anything too wonderful for the Lord?" And it catches her off guard. She denies her laughter, but God rebukes rebukes her in a similar manner that Jesus rebukes the attitude of Martha centuries later. What is it that we learn from that pushback from God? We've all had that experience when God loses patience with us. We get in that stinking thinking mode about our faith, or what's going on and what could we do. We need to remind ourselves. We need to remind ourselves that there is a hierarchy to our existence. We've been in this existence a long time, and that through our ancient covenant, God is our deity, and we are the kingdom. We are the descendants of Abraham. Oh, I would love to have the faith of Abraham. Now, the meal that that Martha prepares for Jesus and his disciples was probably as bountiful as the one Abraham had prepared for his guest. However, Martha did not offer up the same radical hospitality as Abraham. You could almost hear the clanking of the pots and the pans and the other utensils as Martha makes it known that she's stuck by herself here in this task. And she's none too pleased that her sister Mary has her focus on other matters.